Good evening and welcome to Building Things. I'm your host, Aaron Brown, and today we're going to build a box just like this one. For materials, we're going to use a single board, 3/4 of an inch thick and approximately 4 or 5 feet long. We'll also need some screws. For tools, you'll need a drill, either power or hand drill if you want to take the time for that. A driver, you can use a screwdriver, it works fine, it's just slower. You need some bits for the driver, sandpaper, measuring tape, marker, drill bits for the drill, and you might want some clamps. Alright, so we're going to start with the table saw. It's a dangerous piece of equipment. You should have safety goggles for your eyes, respirator for your lungs, all that fun stuff. But some things that are really important is to not stand directly behind the blade, because the edge of it is traveling at approximately 140 miles per hour. And so if your piece catches as you're cutting it, it will impale you. You'll have to go to the hospital. You might even die. So let's stand off to the side whenever you use the table saw. And another very important thing is to not wear gloves. If your finger does touch a blade and you're wearing gloves, you don't just lose one finger, you lose your whole hand because it gets caught. So no gloves and stand to the side of the table saw. Let's adjust it to 6 inches so we get our piece right at 6 inches wide. And make sure we have enough room on the start and the end so that we don't have to stop the saw. When you get to the end, you use a push stick so that your hand stays away from the blade. 140 miles per hour. Alright, we're done with the table saw. Let's take our board and our measuring equipment and head over to the miter saw. Same thing with the miter saw. You should be wearing goggles for your eyes, respirator for your lungs. You should have all the safety equipment, but I didn't buy it brand new, so I didn't have it. Alright, we're going to start with 2 cuts that are 6 inches long. That's the same as the width of our board. Those are going to be the 2 ends of the box. Then we're going to divide up the rest of the board into 3 other pieces, approximately the same. We're going to have about 3 feet left over, so we're going to do 11.5, 11.5, and 10 inches. 10 inches will be the base, and 11.5 for the 2 long sides. So let's start with our 6-inch cut. Remember that the blade is not paper thin, so you need to cut on the appropriate side of your line. Keep your hand out of the path of the blade. Wait for it to stop moving and release. Alright, and you would continue with the rest of your boards. We're going to do a Martha Stewart living trick. If you ever watched Martha Stewart, you don't watch her bake the cake. She just puts all the ingredients together, puts it in one oven, and then out of a different oven, she pulls a baked cake, and then she proceeds to frost it and all that. So I have this box mostly assembled. This video has to be under 6 minutes. So let's start by aligning that, drilling the holes. You need it to go right through the center of the bottom board. We're using a 5/64 bit, and that's just to ease up the tension on the boards for when the screws go in. Alright, we're going to switch to a 1/8 bit, and we're just going to drill through the top board with this one, much larger bit. And that just provides better bonding with our screws. So now we're going to use our driver and put in the screws. Okay. I've already pre-drilled some of these holes. I have 3 for the long side of the board and 2 for the short side. Now I like to go most of the way with the power tool and then finish up with the hand tool just to get the right look. Okay. Couple more screws. All right, so here we have it, our box. Now you would start with the bottom, you would put on the short end, the other short end, then you attach the long side, and finally the other long side. And there we have it, a wooden box made from a single board and 20 screws.